And I'm so grateful that he gave me this opportunity today to come and have a conversation with you guys. It's not like I know everything. Probably some of you know even more than what I know. But I'm just happy to share the little that I have in my heart and the little that I've been able to come up with. So thank you so much. That was quite a very good introduction, because I remember the first time I learned about Alan Turing. I think it was in my artificial intelligence class. I can't remember the teacher really. Who was the teacher? I can't really remember. It was in my artificial intelligence class, and I was so interested at this thing. That was way back, I think, in 2022. And there was this thing called artificial intelligence. At that time, was it in 2021? I think, yes, it was in 2021. And there was no chat GPT, there was nothing like AI. The only AI we knew was the ones that we are shown in movies, like Jarvis, the one in Avengers. Wangapi wameona Avengers? Unaweza tumia tu hizo emojis and then you just show me. Kujua tuko pamoja. Hey, yes. I think most of us, the first AI that we knew were from movies, basically. And I remember that time the class was the easiest class I've ever done, because, you know, in Africa or in third world countries, mostly, not even in third world countries, even in first world countries, we are taught mostly by the teacher Nakuja. It's more of theory. And then you go find the experience in more advanced, maybe when you go for your master's or you go for other higher learning. But that's the only, I never knew AI in practice. I remember even that time I didn't know how to code. I was still learning CSS and I think the web stuff. So, but it was quite interesting. I learned about Alan Turing. I read a lot. So I read a lot about him and found out that he's not the father of AI, but he's the person who came up with the idea of how to come up with some sort of artificial intelligence. We have intelligence, the normal human being intelligence, which is basically our cognitive way of looking at problems and solving them as human beings. But now artificial intelligence is where this sort of ability that the human being has, or some animals have intelligence, like elephants, but now I'm talking specifically about the human intelligence, which is a very high level of intelligence. When it is now replicated in some form of machine or some form of code, mostly I just use the word machine, where we don't have this biological sort of communication. We only have now the artificial one, which is mostly made up of wires, different, what will I call them? Just different parts of machine working together to create some sort of neural network that now we can use for communication. That's where now it comes. And I feel like AI has been always, there's some sort of a bubble for AI currently, and it has been overrepresented in a lot of things. So just to remove that fuzziness that comes with a lot of information that we get from social media, I've been able to prepare a PPT using AI. So I'm going to show you how I've used it so that we can see the power of AI. And then from there, we can all start having a conversation. Is that okay? Kama unakubaliana na hiyo kadonjo. Na kama unakubaliana nao kabisa, unaweza cheka, unaweza clap. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Joy, you raised your hand. Oh, okay. Okay, so thank you so much. I'm just going to share my screen and then I'm going to show you something so powerful. Actually, I've just learned about it right now. I had prepared some sort of a PowerPoint, but I just searched online when we were speaking on a way that I can transform that information directly and use an AI to generate that same PowerPoint. So let me show you just right now. I don't know, let me see. Let me just share a specific window so that we can all see what I'm doing. Or let me share the entire screen. Can you guys see? Can you see? If you can see Donjo kama kawaida, you can see my screen, right? Now, this is the PowerPoint that I've generated with the AI right now. I had already created the PowerPoint earlier in Canva, but I just wanted to see, is there an AI that can do this for me? So what I've done is I've gone to ChatGPT, the basic AI that we know. I just want to show you how powerful AI is right now. And this was nothing that we could see some years back. So let's say I want to create a presentation. Let's say a presentation on AI. I just tell ChatGPT to generate a presentation. I'll tell you to generate a prompt for presenting on AI and its effects on Africa. This is so powerful. I'll just tell you to make it detailed so that the AI generator can produce the best result. I hope we are all together. You can see my screen, right? You've seen the prompt that I've told ChatGPT to generate. Kama kawaida tunasema Donjo ndio nijue tukue pamoja. Yes, thank you so much, Audrey. Audrey, thank you. So this is so powerful. Let me show you now where the powerfulness comes. Then I'm going to just highlight all of this. I'm going to highlight all of this to the conclusion part, right? Now, it has already developed a prompt that we are going to tell the AI that will generate the PowerPoint for us to generate. So I'm going to look for an AI. It's called P dot something, PI dot I. This one here, PI dot INC. It's a Chinese AI. So I'm just going to come in, and then I'm going to press create with AI, and then I'm going to paste all that information as data, and then I'm going to prompt this AI, specific AI, to generate a presentation, just like that. And then I'm going to click enter, or I'm going to press generate. And the AI is currently generating for me a PowerPoint. Quite a powerful tool, this one. So I'm showing you this so that you can see this was not possible like 2 years ago. It was not possible. But there's some sort of speed that has come since we introduced new GPUs. I'm going to talk about all that in the class. So it has already generated it right here. And then I've been given options to choose the type of presentation style that I would like to use for my presentation. So let me choose, I love white. So let me choose this one, and then I'm going to press generate. So what it's doing, it's now generating for me the PPT. Let's just wait and see the results in a few. There we go. Now the AI is generating for me a PowerPoint, and I want you guys to look at it and see, is it a powerful PowerPoint or it's not? You will, after ikishamaliza mtaniambia. So this shows you how powerful AI has really evolved since the first time we knew about ChatGPT was in 2023. And then in 2024, we had the remote task and outlier thing. And then this year, which is 2025, there's been an exponential growth. An exponential growth just basically means that unusual. It's like in multiplication form. You can add 1 plus 1, you get 2, 2 plus 2, you get 4, 4 plus 4, you get 8. But now when you come to multiplication, you only need a few steps to reach the goal or to have a big number. And now that's what I mean by exponential. So exponential just means it's happening very fast, very fast. So I hope it has finished. It's almost finishing. I think it's doing the final touchings. And then we will have a fully presentable PowerPoint. Basically, it has already produced it. I don't know what it's finalizing, but you can see I've been able to generate a PowerPoint having all this, the font. This is what I do. Basically, I'm a graphic designer for, it's something that I love doing. Now it has actually finished the generation. As you can see, kama mnapenda hii PPT unaweza weka donjo ndio tuone kama tuko pamoja. So now vile ni noma, just a few seconds I have a fully presentable PPT using AI. And as I've told you, this one was not possible 2 years ago. It is now possible. When I remember I was having a conversation with a friend of mine and I was telling him, AI will never take away the designer's job. But right now, today, I've just found out that it has taken. Now, let me not stop. I've just shown you the power of AI, and most of you have interacted with them. Now, I'm just going to take you to my presentation today. You see, this presentation was generated by AI. But the content, I researched the content using this book. I'm going to share this book to you. It's Empowering Learners for the Age of AI. It was produced by a well-known organization, the European Commission, together with code.org. This is a well-known organization that is doing research mostly for the UN and things like that. So I'll send this one to you at the end of I'll send it to Joram and then he will share this paper to you. It's a very, very good thing to read as a learner right now. So can we begin? Sasa kama umekubali to begin, unaweza tumia hii emoji nyingine ya sherehe hii. Sijui inaitwaje. That kakon, yes, that one. Audrey knows it. Yes, I'm going to share this with you. You just have a deep read, and I know most of you are here high intellects, so sina haja ku explain vitu mob to you. So as we continue, I'll just be mentioning things, and then we'll be having a conversation as we go. Okay. So on my screen, I was told to do a presentation on preparing the youth for the age of AI. So there's something that I wanted to share just because of this topic. A lot of us fear that AI is going to take away our job. Msijali kama unaona nikiangalia juu ni juu I'm looking at my other monitor. I'm using the camera to the laptop and there's another monitor. So siangali, I'm looking at the monitor. So nika naangalia presentation. So inaonekana ni kama I'm not engaging, but I'm here with you guys. I might just look at it from here. Let me just look at it from this other laptop so that tunaweza engage vizuri. Yeah. Thank you. I think from here I can see it well. So, preparing the youth for the age of AI. And as I was talking, a lot of us feel like there's no need of continuing with the education because AI is coming to take your job. That's true. That's true. AI is coming to take your job. But there's something that we haven't been told. When you look at history, that's why I love people who study history a lot. When you look at history, we have had several revolutions. We came from the agrarian revolution, we came up to the industrial revolution, and then now we came up to the digital era or the .com bubble where we were introduced to the internet. And right now we are entering into the next one, which is called the artificial intelligence, or it's the fifth revolution of computers where we have artificial intelligence. And look at all those revolutions. Each revolutions, when one revolution ended, a lot of people were able to get employed in the next revolution. When we left the agrarian revolution, a lot of people got employed during the industrial revolution, and then a lot more people got employed during the .com bubble, where we had the computer and people could literally work from using computers and going to the fields. And then now we are just entering into a season where we have like some sort of, you have an extra brain. Instead of you using your brain only, you have another helper that is a brain that you can exploit and use it to do things because it's more intelligent And it depends on just how you ask it. Just look at AI like this, like you are some rich kid who has come from a rich bloodline, and then you have a butler. A butler is the person who actually takes care of the family, mostly for rich people. And this butler is now the AI. The butler understands the history of the family. They understand where your assets are in terms of where your money is. So even when your dad dies, there's a will. He knows where the will is. He knows how to talk with all the partners of the families, all all the lawyers, and you don't have to go through all that. You just have to inherit your money and continue flourishing and eating from jasho ya wenye walikuja before wewe. Now that's the AI that we have. All the knowledge that our forefathers have had and that they have given to us previously, um, it has all been given to this butler that we now call AI. And now, for you to be able to survive in this era or in this family, you need to understand that the butler knows a lot. So you need to be the friend of the butler, so that the butler will be able to guide you in the right direction, so that you don't have to relearn everything about the family. You just have to ask him, did this happen? And then you use it to your benefit. Are we together? Your analogy may work, sindio? Yes, thank you so much. So don't fear that AI inaenda kunyang'anya kazi. AI is going to create even more jobs. I'm also going to send the WEF, World Economic Forum report of 2020, WEF report. There's this report that came, this one, I'm going to, the future of jobs. Also read this one. Let me just download it for you guys so that nikimaliza, I'll just be sharing it to you. So go read that one too. It talks about the new types of jobs that are going to be created. I'm not going to go into details about all that. Now let's just go straight into the content. We are going to talk about introduction and why AI literacy really matters. And then we're going to talk about challenges youth face today, basically about AI. And then we're going to talk about the 4 domains of AI literacy. And then we're going to talk about essential knowledge youth must have, skills youth need to thrive in AI world, attitudes you must develop, the role of teachers in education, practical examples of AI literacy in action, preparing youth for the future, and finally, we'll have a call to action. So thank you all so much. And as we go to the first slide, I want to be so quick so that we can save on time and also be able to have some sort of a discussion as we continue. So, with the introduction, we have why AI literacy really matters. I'm just going to read so that I can internalize. Once I read, and then I can be able to explain it to you. Is that okay? So let's go. So AI is transforming how young people learn, communicate, create, and think. Most youth already interact with the AI daily, often without understanding it. AI will play a major role in future careers, decision-making, and societies. Schools are still catching up, creating a gap between AI usage and understanding. So basically, this entire paragraph just introduces you to why AI literacy really matters. It really matters because it is something that we are using in our day-to-day lives. And if by now your life has not been affected by AI since last year up to now, whether it's financially, you are intellectually, or any other thing, then you are an angel, and I want to give you all the glory. Except the most glory goes to God. But wewe ni mnoma sana, wewe ni mnoma. Kama AI ijakuaffect, kama ijafanya na watu wasema ati AI imekufanya umesota, hujasota juu ya AI. But AI inafaa kuwa imekusaidia by now kuingiza some extra cash. Let's say for those who are doing online writing. I remember this is a true story. You know, AI yenye tunajua sahi, it was in 2023 when I first saw ChatGPT. So most of my friends around me didn't know about AI. Ungeuliza unamwambia ChatGPT ni nini, anashindwa bana, wewe ni nini? This was just in 2023. I think early January there. Was it early January or something? I remember I used it first as a test. I was in a tech community, and from there I was introduced to ChatGPT, and then I just started asking it questions, and I was mind-boggled when I realized that this thing actually works. So when I came, most of my friends were doing online writing, and I know some of you may know them, Akina Manail and the rest. They were doing online writing, and I remember they really used to make a lot of money from online writing. Because during around 2023 and back, just using online writing, people would buy cars. And it was paying quite seriously. Hiyo time ukiwa na kituka 30,000, 40,000 per month, manzi unaishi kama mfalme. Because even our currency was a little bit stronger and life was a little bit cheaper. So with something like 30,000, which was a walk on with online writing, you would make a lot of money. So when ChatGPT came and most of my friends were introduced to it, during that small window, it was a window of about 6 months when people didn't know about ChatGPT or anything. So most of my friends just began using AI to produce, to write, to do online writing. And you'll find that within a short period of time, they would have made a lot of money, because the same work that a single writer would take like 2 days or 3 days to do, they were doing it in less than, in minutes, literally, and sending it to someone who can do the corrections and all that, and then sending it to the person to the client. And within a short period of time, people made a lot of money, until now institutions really realized that people are using AI. And from that time, they began introducing things like checking for humanization and all that. So that's where it all started. So you see, from that, just that aspect, AI directly affected financial circumstances of people. And as we go on, this thing went on until we had things like now Remote Task and Outlier and other platforms that people use to make money around it. And this only happened within a year, from 2023, middle 2023, up to middle 2024. It was a period of like 12 months, so that's a year. So in between that period, the people who took advantage of that made a lot of money because it affected them financially. They were able to do tasks or work that was previously not possible. So AI has directly affected you no matter what. Are we tumeagree hadi hapo, si ndio? And any other place, kufanya kazi ya mwalimu, umeambiwa sijui andike essay, unarukia ChatGPT unaiambia kufanyie nini hapa na pale, unajipata uko sawa. So it has affected you. So I'm just going to the challenges youth face today. Many young people cannot tell when AI is wrong, biased, or misleading. This lack of awareness can lead to misuse. Yes, this is a big problem that we are facing currently. And it is a problem that AI policy, whenever you're developing a product, there are parts. There are people who do specific things. There's someone who's going to develop that product. Now, this person in this case is we are talking about OpenAI, because they are the ones who introduced us to ChatGPT. They can develop the product, but there's another person who is going to implement this product in a way that they're going to market it. Because if you are able to produce a product and you've not marketed it, it's just useless. Even the worst products that have ever been produced, if marketed correctly, will make cash. So you find that there's someone who's going to produce the product, and then there's someone who is going to market it, and then there's someone who is going to regulate it. Because if a product is not regulated, it is going to cause a lot of problems. So in 2024 and 2023, we only had AI introduced to our lives, right? That was the product. We were just given the product. And you could ask, at that time, you could ask ChatGPT almost anything and it will just give you the answers. But now as time goes, people felt that this thing was starting to become, it was giving some gagged up or imagined answers, or what you call hallucination, which no one has provided it. It's the biggest problem currently for AI, and anyone who can be able to solve the problem of AI hallucination is going to introduce us directly to artificial general intelligence, which is the next one that we are going. So even when you're in school right now, just know there's something you can do. Do research in AI hallucination. Why hii yenye unaulizanga ChatGPT kufanyia kitu and then inaanza tu kuongea, haina jibu, lakini inaleta tu kitu yenye it makes sense. So you can go look at that and try to solve that problem. So people decided to sit down and say, hey, manze kitu iko biased. Let's start finding a way that we can regulate it. Because when a product is not regulated, it becomes a weapon that can be used to do dangerous things. So they decided to bring now the AI policymakers. These are lawmakers, these are people who do research, and they actually set situations that they can be able to quantify and say, hapa kuna hii shida, hapa kuna hii shida, tujaribu kufanya hii. And that's why even as it's coming, most of the AIs that are coming, you find that they have been already regulated in a way that it's not, they're reducing the biasness. So that ikifika point yenye AI haijui swali, inaweza sema tu sijui hii swali, na siwezi kudanganya kwa sababu hii si ya ukweli. We've not reached there. So the next one is exposure to misinformation and algorithm-driven content. Students often encounter distorted information. And when you have all these problems where now, kama hapa kuna mtu mwenye ana TikTok, except wale na waitanga mamonks. Mamonks ndo wanasemanga manzi, mimi hata siwezi post picha yangu social media, siwezi like nini za watu, siwezi comment, na siwezi kuwa TikTok. Nasema TikTok ni ya watu wajielewi. But probably everyone here amekuwa TikTok. TikTok is basically TikTok. And let me tell you something. If you people think that AI came in 2023, we are also wrong. AI was there ever since social media was given to us. Because how does social media work? Basically works using algorithms. Algorithms are some sort of low-level AI by themselves, where video inaangalia umekuwa ukifanya nini, and then from there it starts certain videos, not the video. The platform learns what you've done or what you've been watching, and then inaanza kusuggest ya vitu. So that one is basically some sort of low-level artificial intelligence, and we've been using it over and over. Now, when TikTok came in 2020, 2021, we found out that now that's changed, because now there was heavy use of AI. And that's why I was saying, ukisema ti AI bado itaku affect, basi wewe upange social media. Nyinyi ni wale mamongo wanachukua kitabu tu peke yake, hata ana simu anatumia buttons. So anyway, AI has affected you in that way, and you'll find that now the algorithmic driven content algorithmic driven content has been able to distort how students are exposed to information. And mostly I'm talking about youths, us, the Gen Zs, and the people of the world, or anything. So I'm just saying all these things so that I can introduce you to the general topic, where now we are going to say, how are we going now to prepare when these are the problems that we have currently? How are we going to prepare to ride on this wave of AI? So we've seen that the first one was misinformation. There was biasness. The next one is in misinformation. In misinformation, during Trump's or during Ruto's the elections, there was a biasness that was studied by a certain Australian company, research agency, where they found out that hiyo siku ya election, mtu angeenda kusearch between this mtu mwenye sema yeye ajui story ya politics, angeenda Google na seme between this politician and this politician, who was the best chances, or who do you think we can be able to, hiyo ni time bado AI iko imefika fiti, tulikuwa tunatumia tu Google search engine, na ungepata that Google was so biased, ungepata ina suggest a certain candidate more because the candidate has been talked more about, but it necessarily doesn't mean that that candidate ako right. So unapata mtu atakuwa influence indirectly to choose a choice that yeye mwenyewe ataki just because they searched online. So those are some of the problems about misinformation yenye tunaongelelea. Kuna digital divide risk where some students access the AI tools and others do not. Hebu jicompare sahi na student mwenye ako Turkana, ama jicompare sahi na student mwenye ako Sudan ama Congo. You know, sisi wote, si ati ikifika hiyo time ati kuna mtu mwenye ako na age gap different. We all have, kama tulizaliwa 2002 ama tulizaliwa 2005 ama 1999 ama 1987, we are all in that age group, right? And we are all growing, eh? But inafika point where now there are people who have access to this. Kuna mtu mwenye sahi hata relative wake fulani hata juu story ya AI. Na si ati juu hataki kujua, ni juu yuko exposed hadi anatumia simu ya button na ana ajai hata shika computer. Na unapata huo msee bado mtakuwa mna compete na yeye mkiendelea. which unapata sasa kutakuwa na some sort of a gap where there are some students who already know how to use the computers, and there are those who don't know how to use the computers. And this is going to add up to one of the things that we are going to use to see on how we can ride the AI. Use just concept here, your gap, that knowledge gap, the information technology gap, where there's a lot, in fact, in Kenya, a very small percentage of us know about computers and all that stuff. And this thing is affecting you, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a doctor or anything, it's going to affect you. Now, ukiachia story ya AI watu wa IT peke yake, unaona hapo kuna shida kidogo. Kutakuwa na shida kidogo. So everyone is supposed to learn about it so that we can fill that gap. The other one is lack of shared understanding about what AI literacy really means. There is a need for a common definition. There's still no common definition, by the way, for AI literacy. We need to be able to reach a point where us as the globe, we have a common agreement on what AI literacy really means. And what does it mean? Does it affect mtu mwenye anafanya surgery ama mtu mwenye ni daktari? Does it affect ule mse mwenye ako kwa duka huko, mwenye anauza kwa duka daily, ama mtu wa mtumba hoka? Does it affect them? We have to come and really find, is it necessary for these people to learn about AI so that you can have an equal and very, very easy to live future? And the last one is concerns about privacy, fairness, and ethics. These issues are paramount in today's AI application. How many of you have heard of there's this system that can be, it's an Israeli system that is used to track people, and our government purchased it, chini ya maji, by the way. There's a system that uses OSINT, which is a type of way that you can get. OSINT is a tactic used by detectives or DCIs or security agencies to find or specify certain people, where I am going to say, tunataka umse alitusi Ruto, His Excellency President William Ruto alimtusi, si ndio? Lakini tunataka yeye tu peke yake. So we use OSINT, where we go online and we look for all the data. Ulitumia nani message, ulifanya nini, hizo vitu zote, and that one is available. Using this technology that Israel has produced, you can be able to find someone just using that OSINT method. And now that one is AI powered, and it was used, hata hizo ndo unapata zinatumika time yenye we are period ya Gen Z protests. Those are some of the tactics that were used to take people who are fighting for the country during that time. I don't want to go much into that, but basically that is now the negative part of AI, where your privacy is being stolen. There is no fairness and ethics, because whoever controls or controls how AI works basically controls that AI. Whoever is going to control the infrastructure, this is a very important point to note. Whoever is going to control the infrastructure, whoever is going to lay down the infrastructure, is going to be the person who is going to control that AI. AI is the best thing that has ever happened to anyone in this world. It is the best thing that has happened to us as a human race. But the danger is that it can be used as a weapon. Because AI is, if you employ AI into the government, if you employ AI to guide your privacy, it will do the best job. But the problem will be when now someone who is controlling this AI is the one who is now behind it and controlling it. And then now there we are going to have problems. So I think up to there we've already understood the phases and challenges. I'll just go through the 4 domains of AI literacy, where we have engaging with AI, creating with AI, managing AI, and designing AI. So engaging with AI, we were to explain the sort of what is AI literacy, because you cannot say that you're going to take the advantage of AI without having AI literacy. For you to have AI literacy, you also have to start by engaging with it. Where, how are you going to use it? How are you using this AI? The next one is creating with it, where you use it like the way you've seen me using AI to create a PowerPoint, a very powerful PowerPoint. And then the next one is managing with AI, where it is used to set boundaries and to do management. Basically, there's an AI that is used by BlackRock and Vanguard to manage portfolios, because they basically manage portfolios for governments. Portfolios ni pesa tu, pesa ya government assets kama maybe central banks, vitu kama hizo. So kumanage hiyo pesa, governments usually give all their money to BlackRock and Vanguard. I know most of you know them as some of the companies that are ruling the world. People send their cash to those people, these governments, institutions, so that they can be managed for them by these people. They can invest them for them and do that. There's an AI that BlackRock is using currently. It's called Aladdin. And Aladdin is one of the most powerful portfolio management. Portfolio is basically, kama wewe ni trader, uko na pesa yako, wewe ni investor, uko na pesa yako kwa crypto, uko na pesa yako kwa bank, uko na pesa nyingine in form of real estate. Those are your portfolios. You've invested in different places, and then now when you combine them, you can give them to now these BlackRock guys, and from there they can be able to manage it for you. And now you have to learn. We have to learn how managing these things using AI. That's why we were talking about AI management. And then the last one is designing AI. This is understanding how AI works and how design choices impact fairness. Basically, these four things, you as a person, you need to know them. You need to know how to engage with it, to create with it, manage with it, and design with it, so that you can have some sort of AI literacy. You can be able to tackle any AI that will come to you. Unapata, kuna mtu mwenye ukimpatia, even if any new AI comes, they'll be able to interact with this AI. That's the power of having this sort of AI literacy. Essential knowledge youth must have. Number one, AI works through data patterns, probabilities, and statistics, not human thinking. Understand that this foundational knowledge is very critical. AI fikiri kama wewe. Hiyo inachukua data, inazicompare, ina make sense out of it. And it's the same thing that we do, except that kuna kitu yenye inaitwa utu ama something and some sort of intention. Usually, Dr. Kibet, mute from your side. Thank you so much. So you find that it uses some sort of data patterns, some probability and statistics, and doesn't think like us. Sisi tunatumia very powerful. Our the way we were designed, the way our way of thinking was designed. The person who designed it, who is God, started when do such conversations was in a letter some sort of difference. But we basically believe in God. Ali create some sort of, he has to be some very highly powerful, intelligent person, because when we are trying to compare the way our brains work and the way that AI works, we are always told that story and neural networks and all that, they just use the concept of our brain, but it doesn't work like our brains. Our brains are way too powerful, and that's where the AI misses. So you have to understand that it does not use the normal human way of thinking, like Nambiwanga. It literally uses data that is stored in some place, probabilities. It compares what has already happened and tries to project in the future what will happen, and statistics, which is just generally data. And next is some essential knowledge you need to know that humans shape AI through data selection, labeling, and design decision. Kama umefanya outlier, umefanya remote task, you are part of the people who are creating AI, because you're doing data labeling, data selection, and design decision making. By Nambiwa. Hey, can someone help me animate them? Nani, unaweza nisaidia kumute Dr. Dan? Yeah, thank you. Let's see if I can mute from this side. I can't. Joram, you can help me. Thank you. Okay. Oh, so thank you. Sorry for that. The next one is I've talked about kama umefanya story na outlier, you've been doing the data labeling part, where you are the one who is actually ukiuliza yo AI ikiuliza question, ukipatiwa prompt uambiwe rate this prompt up to this and this, you are literally telling this AI what to do. Wewe ndio unaisaidia ku make decisions. So if you tell it the wrong thing, in the long run utapata that there's a way that specific AI is not going to work properly. Let me just try and fix my this thing laptop charger. Just a minute. I think we are good. Yeah, thanks. So the next part is just a minute. Yes, I'm having just a minute. I'm trying to fix this charger. I think it's fixed. Yeah, it's fixed. So the next one is AI can reinforce societal bias if not trained responsibly. And that's, as I've told you guys, that is currently one of the most important things that are being done as we speak, where we have policymakers who are trying to make it avoid the biasness and be trained in the right way to answer the right questions and not just create its own things out of hallucination. AI has environmental impacts like energy, water, carbon, and carbon footprint, and the ecological footprint of AI must be acknowledged. And then we have AI influences areas like health, jobs, justice. We all know this, and its pervasive role must be understood. So I'm just going to skills youth need to thrive in AI world, and this is basically what we were here for. So critical thinking, checking accuracy, identifying bias, and validating information. You know, the previous world, there were systems that were put in place that would basically allow people to verify if something is true or not. Let's look at the history. Previously, when we were living in groups or in families and in communities, we would have to have this. We used to have these sort of elders who were the ones who are holding the knowledge, and then from them, if we had a problem, we would go and ask them, hii kitu ni ukweli ama hii kitu ni uongo? Sasa ungeenda kwao na wao wangekuklarify na wakwambie kitu kama hii watu uko wetu watufanye. Wangapi uko yao ilikuwa inafanya hivyo, ama ni mimi pekee yetu ndio tunatoka penye wazee walikuwa? Is it only me? Unaweza inua mkono like kuweka hivi ile emoji yetu. How many? Hakuna? Sawa. So sisi kwetu tuko na wazee juu amwajui ni watu wadogo wakubwa wenye wanatembeanga hivi na mikwaju, wengine watembei na wengine ni strong. Sasa wanakuanga huko kwetu, tukiwa na shida tunaendanga kuuliza. So kitambo, kama kulikuwa na issue in our community, we will go and ask these people and they will clarify if this thing was wrong or not. You see, now there we had a system for checking the accuracy, the identity of whatever you want to know, and then we will validate if that information is true. But with this AI coming, and it's more powerful than most of our elders, meaning it's not powerful in a way that it knows a lot. It is good or it is correct. It is only powerful in the fact that it has speed and it can be able to check facts or take information faster and vast information, or what you call big data, faster than most of us. So certainly wiser than our elders or anything. It's just that it can do things faster, or it can learn or give answers faster. But now wisdom, sidhani ka AI iko na wisdom. The wisdom ndio inakusaidia ku avoid stress ama ku avoid vita, and it is the most important thing in human beings life. So AI does not have wisdom. It only has knowledge, and it only regurgitates that knowledge that it has in a pattern that is seemed or is like inajaribu kutumia the best scenario, lakini wisdom haitaki the best scenario. Wisdom unafaa unajua what to do at that time. So first of all, you have to be a very, very critical thinker. And this is where I'm telling you guys to start reading. How many people can finish a book? Kama uko sure unaweza finish kitabu mzima by now, within a week, you finished a book of, let's say, 100 to 200 pages. Inua mkono. A book, whether unaisoma kama si tunaweza engage, just use the emojis down there. How many of you can finish a book? Naona ni Reville, naona ni Business Jeff, naona Audrey anasema ni ukweli ama mnatupima? Kama unaweza maliza kitabu ya 100 pages ama 200 pages na ukae without being distracted by social media, manze na kupatia salute, because it's people are not reading. We're spending most of our time scrolling, and in the process of scrolling, we are training our neural network to adapt in a way that does not allow us to do long-term concentration. And long-term concentration, you know, there's something that our brain was given that is so powerful. I can't remember the name exactly. I don't know if it's neuroregeneration. No, it has a specific name. And this thing gives our brain the power that hata ukiwa mzee na ulikuwa na certain habits, you can be able to train new habits. By just doing something consistently, you start changing. Sindio? But now, we are doing the wrong thing consistently. We are scrolling, doom scrolling. We call it rotting. Ile bana, umeona tu classes zimeisha Friday. Unaingia Netflix, unakaa Netflix mpaka Sunday. Kitu kunatoka tu nje, unatoka nje ukienda kununua chakula na ni mayai. Na saa hizo njaa imekukula mpaka una choice. Unaendea kale kama mayai kako, unakuja na kagonga, na kamboga kako na ugali kubwa, unaingia Netflix. It's called bed rotting. Most of all, ile unamka asubuhi uko tu hivi, na kasimu kako, unastukia hivi unaona ni saa 7. Haujakula, unasema acha tu tuiname, tutangoja ifike saa 1 ndio tuende tutafute ya kukula. Inafika saa 1 unaona manze ni kuna macha ngakule smoke ama smocha, nione kama ndasukuma na nikunywe na maji. Na life inaendelea. So unapata that in the long run you are doing this thing consistently, and you are train your neural networks to ikue hivyo. Mpaka imefika point yenye mtu hata kabla ajajibu swali lazima check na ChatGPT. So inamaanisha already ushaanza kunyang'anya brain yako power, unaipatia ChatGPT. And in that process, utafika point that you can't be a critical thinker. So I love the people who are in this group, because I know most of you are like me. Me, I'm a polymath. I'm someone who reads a lot of things, and I'm very curious. So most of you are curious, no wonder you are here. Inamaanisha that only the 21 of you are the ones who have the highest chance of developing this critical thinking. And I'm not being biased. Kuna wengine wenye hawako hapa, but I'm just saying the 21 of you are examples of people who are going to develop high level of critical thinking. Sema amen. Unataka hapo amen. So critical thinking, it will be a very important thing in the future, where utakuwa unakuwa employed specifically for you to be able to tell if something is AI generated or not. Because there's no AI that can be able to tell if another AI is wrong. Because it is an AI. The only person who can tell an AI if an AI is wrong is a human being, a conscious, critical thinking human being, where you're able to identify a certain bias na useme, manze hii na si ukweli. Unajua, right now I've read so many things that if you write for me anything, I'll know that it is AI generated just by looking at it. There are some sentence structures, there are some commas that you'll place in certain places, and unajua tu generate na AI. Just like that, because the more you read a lot of things, you start now knowing the difference, and that one will be very. So you guys, there's going to be a job yenye inaitwa critical thinking. Hiyo itakuwa job. The WEF report that I'm going to send you has all those details of future job opportunities that you're supposed to be concentrating on. Now the second one is creativity, using AI to enhance original ideas. I'm a graphic designer. I love it because vile coding ilinichosha kichwa nikiwa I think second year, na ulikuwa unapata nafikiria ndalan HTML ama ndaenda kununua mayai. Napenda mayai sana, by the way. Mayai is a very important part of my meal. Juu ya comrade imefanya nimependa mayai time nilikuwa comrade, na mpaka sasa bado napenda mayai. So you find that nikiwa first year singenunua hadi mayai. So the only place I would get mayai is nikienda kwa rafiki yangu. I used to live in the hostels. So nikaangalia how can I be able to create something for myself, na nikaingia graphic designing, and that's the way I found my way. Nikalearn kutumia Photoshop, nikatumia story na video editing, nikaona Premiere Pro ni ngumu, nikaingia kutumia CapCut, and just like that doors zika open. Nikalearn other things. I began to find other ways, and probably most of you have already figured it out, and some of you are in the process, and let me tell you, it's going to happen. Vile unaona tu inaenda kuhappen ndio vile inaenda kuhappen, as long as you put your head down and work on something. So me, I used to fancy a lot of designers. I would say no one can replace designers. It is something that requires critical thinking, and it requires you have a creative mind. Lakini sasa AI inakugeneratea ka design bana unati. So as a creative or as a creative thinker, I should not be scared that AI inaenda kuchukua nini yangu, kazi yangu. What I should see is how can I partner with the AI, si ndio? So siku hizi kitambo client lazima angenitumia brief. So sasa sihitaji brief, nachukua hiyo text ametuma, naambia AI generate for me a brief. I'm partnering with the AI. So brief kitambo lazima ningekaa chini niandike. Sasa sifai kuandika. Sasa siandiki. Nachukua tu na type, niambie brief post inafaa kuwa na nini na nini, presentation inafaa kuwa hii na hii. Kisha ni generate na niambie nipatie processes. Inanipatia processes. So unapata kitu nyingine nichukua 2 hours, nachukuanga siku zika 45 minutes ama 1 hour max. So hiyo ni pesa ishaingia already. Na kitambo ingenichukua 2 hours. Meaning volume yangu ya kuproduce, and I'm still being paid the same amount. Unaona, yeye ajui kama nimetumia AI ama hataki kujua, anataka kitu inawaka. So we need to start knowing how to use AI to enhance our original ideas. Sema uko na idea, this is something I did very recently, and I think I should share it with you. Whatever you want to do right now, unaona hiyo kitu unataka kujua, uliza ChatGPT in a big prompt, iexplainie kila kitu vile unaiona, uiambie manze mimi nadai nifanye kitu kama hii na hii, na nataka kuifanya hivi, lakini sijui vile naweza implement kwa dunia. AI uiambie use global level of thinking, local level of thinking, societal level of thinking to produce for me this idea in a way that I can implement it given these specific parameters. Ukishaambia hivyo inakuja na kupatia a list. Watu wengi, I think all of us have done that here. AI can even give you a path to your future career. Now uiambie ati now using this thing that I've told you, use the World Economic Forum report of future jobs to be able to curate to me in a way that I can use it to let's say what to make a path that is sensible. Unaelewa? Juu hatutaki kuona ati unasoma tu coding, because sasa mtu mwenye anataka kuniambia ati kazi yake ni kusoma tu coding na mchekelea tu sana. Because the reason why coding became so powerful in between 2020 all the way to 2023, because that's the highest time in the universe where we've ever had the highest number of coders being paid the highest amount. Sasa ina reduce. John ali produce hiyo AI hata yenye watoa. But sasa what is happening is that sasa ukiniambia tu ni programmer tu. You know, you're not just to be a programmer. Nataka kuona ukiwa unatumia vitu kama vibe coding, but use vibe coding to speed the process, but your original way of thinking, your original way of doing things. Go and learn how to code, and now use the process of producing that product, make it faster. So you use AI to enhance your creativity. Number 2, computational thinking, which is breaking problems into steps AI can understand. Hawa basically ni prompt engineers and general thinkers. Kama mostly utaenda kwa research, utadeal story na computational thinking, where unapatiwa problem and you have to break it into steps so that unaweza feedback to the AI for it to understand. Communication is going to be very important. Watu wa social media content creation. Content creation si kudance peke yake. So tumia dance yako kuinfluence markets na kuinfluence things. And people have used that to their advantage, and people are making a lot of money from that. So use your content creation to be able to change life. So communication, basically explaining how AI was used, avoiding anthropomorphism. Hiyo hata sijui ni nini. Acha tuangalie pamoja what that means. What is this? Sasa tukuje hapa. Anthropomorphism is the attribution of human characteristics, emotions, and behaviors to non-human entities like animals, objects, or natural. It is a common human tendency seen in stories, art, and everyday life, where a hurricane is given a name, pet is assumed to be smiling. Oh, basically tu ni kufanya whatever you use kenye ni ngumu kuapply in a human way to make it in a way ama unaipatia jina yenye is relatable. Yenye nikisoma tu hiyo jina najua kitu inamaanisha nini, si ndio? So you use, ni kama satire, ni kama jokers ama watu wanaitwa ngaje, stand up comedians. Unapata mtu kama Trevor Noah, watu wenye wanajua Trevor Noah wanaweza kumtumia likes zake. Trevor Noah he communicates on very complex things, anaongelea story na politics sana na stereotypical topics. And these topics anazifanyanga in a way that they assume amusing, ama zina amuse watu, ama zinakaa funny, but unapata that ziko more effective that way, So unapata that if you are able to learn how to communicate in a way that you can address issues, ama explaining how AI was used. Unaona hapo inasema explain how AI was used, avoiding whatever hiyo kitu yenye ilikuwa inasema. So unatumia like kama content ilikuwa produced na AI, you are able to communicate it to people in a way that they can easily understand, something like that. So nilikuwa nasema about Trevor Noah, it takes very complex topics and delivers them in a way that people can understand. Juu kama wewe ni genius, and this one you've seen in movies and you've seen in reality, you can be a genius but you will never go anywhere if you don't know how to communicate. And if there's someone who really wants to know how to communicate, I would recommend you join I Speak Society. It was founded by Benihino Lubengo, a young man who is 23 years, who is really doing things. Unaweza check tu hapo online utamwona. And it really teaches our generation how to communicate and how to operate in a way that hiyo education yenye uko nayo si enough. So anakufundisha how to make it ukwe easily employable, ukwe easily adaptable, just using communication. So communication is very important. The next one is problem solving. Sisi wote tunajua ni nini, na self and social awareness. Understanding AI's influence on behavior in society. AI imetu influence sana. Tukianza hapo na algorithms. I just want to finish this thing so fast. Actually hata ni kama tunamaliza. I'll go through this ndio to have an open forum. Attitudes you must develop. Highlight the 5 attitudes. Unaona hii ni hiyo kitu ilikuwa imeproduce na shindo radake na niandikia nini. So curious. Attitude, you are supposed to be curious. Manze, endeleeni kuwa curious. Vile mko hapa hivi, this is very important. There's something that I've probably said that we've added to your knowledge bank. There's something that you're going to say during the discussions that we are going to use to add. I'm going to use to add to my knowledge bank. So developing curiosity, manze, isi dedi. Wajua siku hizi hadi uko online ona mtu akiwa curious ni kana anachongolewa. So usijali, wewe kuwa tu curious. Me curiosity has really helped me to not be ignorant, and it has helped me to understand a lot of things about life zenye sikuwa na understand kidogo. Imenisaidia kuelewa Ruto, imenisaidia kuelewa akina Samia na whatever those people do, just because I am curious and I'm najipatia space ya kuelewa umse mbona fikirie hivi, na mimi nafikiria hivi, unaona. So things like that, be curious, responsible, ethical use of AI. Hii nayo I will emphasize manze. Tumia AI ethically, usitumie AI kuwork vitu. There's a certain company which someone developed used alitumia, I don't know, they are called AI what. Kuna code zingine ukitumia ukipatia ChatGPT una block from following the guidance, ni kama ina jump a certain loop, and once ime jump ukiuliza kitu yote itakwambia, because hiyo ChatGPT inaweza kusaidia ku Google kuhack Google, inaweza kusaidia kuhack vitu mob sana, but our sage wanajua knowledge ni dangerous just to anyone. Ukianza kuuliza maswali kama hizo zina nini, ina block. But see, at the end of knowledge, there are guys who use that to steal, I think, $2 billion, but walishikwa. I think was it last month or something. You can go look that in the internet. So use AI responsibly, because let me tell you, unajua watu wanasemanga ati ido ya kuscam ama Ruto sijui akifanya nini ati ini affect, ina affect, because whenever you use money, whenever ukiborrow money, you're borrowing someone's future, meaning tuseme kama nilikuwa na 100,000, si ndio? Niko na 100k ama niko na 1 million, na nimesema hii 1 million itanisaidia for the next 6 ama 7 months, si ndio? So nikitumia hii dosa hii month 6 na nitumia yote, inamaanisha month 2 3 4 5 ndashindwa na survive aje. So I have used my future today, so my future will suffer. So ukiona umeiba ama kuna mtu wa serikali ameiba pesa ya watu, he has actually stolen your future. Hiyo pesa yenye mngetumia huko mbele kufanya certain development, ndio hata jobs increase, anaichukua anaitumia saa hii, na anaitumia vibaya in a way that it won't benefit you. So unapata in the future you'll have to borrow. Lakini sasa itafika point yenye you can't borrow, sasa itabidi mmeteseka tu. Is the same thing. Usitumie hizi vitu kuibia watu. Ukiibia bank, uibi bank, unaibia watu. Unaibia watu juu pesa inafunga kwa bank ni pesa watu wamesave huko. Na bank ikiibiwa, unless kama kuna konga na vitu zina insure banks, but most banks I don't know vile huwa ina work, stack kwenda into the details, but ukiibia mtu kwa bank, huo mse bank itamwambia tu wewe ulishaibiwa, kuna vile tutakurefund, hiyo imeenda hivyo. Unaona sasa hiyo umeharibia mtu future. Vitu kama hizo unaweza fikiria vitu kama hizo kabla. And then be innovative, using AI to design new solutions and solve real problems. I've seen that with a lot of people in Kirinyaga. We are really working. Niliona kwa last year's innovation conference hapo, na niliona wasio wanafanya mambo za ajabu sana. So mimi naweza mwambia tu keep it up. And then adaptable, willing to adjust. Manze sasa hii hata tujaingia artificial general intelligence na inakuja 2027. Hata tujui like kama ChatGPT ndio ishatufanyia hivi, na hitu ni artificial basic intelligence tu. Artificial general intelligence ni penye tutaanza kuwa na robots normal, kuwa na robot itakuwa kitu normal all the way to 2035, where now artificial general intelligence will be there for a very long time. Itakuwa ina improve tu. Ino time yenye unapata sasa hizi stories za digital ID tutaambiwa sasa ni compulsory and things like that. So let's start being adaptable. Anza kuadapt. Ikikuja wewe adapt manze. Usilie ati sijui yaya ina job. Ati sasa kuna job ziko manze. Job ziko, jitume. Empathetic. You have to consider how AI impacts people, culture and the environment. Tuanze kuwa very very empathetic towards people. Where usifanye tu vitu juu unataka ati juu uko na AI tuko na access to this and that. So the role of teachers and educators, I'm just saying this, niliandika tu ndio hata ukiwa kwa daro ulizelek. Kama wewe ni msemo unapenda kulizelek kama mimi, juu mimi nilikuwa na challenging na ma question. So unaweza mchallenge, so unaweza mwambia hivi, utasoma all this in the document I'm going to send, where how they are supposed to integrate AI literacy naturally across subjects, not only ICT. Unajua siku hizo wanasema tu watu wa IT, watu wa pass pekee yao ndio wanafaa kuwa wanashughulikia AI. No, waambieni waanze kupeleka hizi vitu kwa all the other courses. Literally I was thinking of this before someone joins high school. Yani ukitoka primary kabla hujaingia high school unafaa kuenda shule ya ni computer literacy na AI literacy. Unafaa kuenda shule na ni compulsory, probably government inafaa kuwa inalipa hiyo. Unaenda hiyo shule, and then ndio unaenda high school. Ukitoka high school unaenda advanced school. Juu kuna mtu anaingia uni manzi hata juu computer. Kama mimi sikuwa najua kutumia computers na nilikuwa nimechagua computer systems engineering. The only time nilikuja nika on lapi manze ni nikiwa sijui second year manze. Na nilikuwa nisha give up na coding. Juu manze una code hauna hata lapi. Una code kesho kukuja kuangalia lapi umecode manze jamaa alishavuta. Yeye nadhani na huo mtu mwenye umeboro lapi anafanya education. I'm sorry for auto education. Lakini manze unapata ame delete nini ame delete netwaje long since ni code. Ame delete nini natumikanga ku code. Wewe akili nimerust. Kuna hii kitu sijui whatever code hiyo. Hiyo. Sasa hiyo unapata ame delete database yako manze unamko umekasirika. Unamse mtu ajabu sana. Anyway, so at least kuna hiyo process, hiyo transition, mtu akiingia high school anajua computer, akitoka high school akiingia uni, achana na sijui ati nilifanya computer package. Yes, sema Reville. Oh, okay. Thank you. So, ni 9:44. We, tumeenda. So thank you so much. So anyway, advocate for those things. Ask your teachers manze. Okay, hakuna kitu watafanya, ni kweli sitawadanganya. But at least waambie tu ajue. Akiingia into certain rooms anaweza mention those things. Teach bias, ethics, privacy, fairness and responsible use. Encourage critical thinking and judgment when using AI tools. Model transparency when teachers themselves, whatever, create classroom guidelines for safe. Hiyo ni yao. I think we are just here finishing. Practical examples of AI literacy in action. Students using AI to evaluate misinformation. Youth creating art or music. Classroom discussions. Simple projects. The basics. Preparing youth for the future of work. AI automates some tasks but increases demand for human judgment. Okay, so read manze. Sasa ndio naweza waambia kama usomi banze soma. So manze, unajua Google right now is paying, there's someone who was paid $225 million because he's a researcher. Researchers read. He's an AI researcher. That's how powerful people read are going to become. Juu watu wengi watakuwa tu macabbages. Mtu tu kazi yake ni kuscroll tu. Hata asomi jamaa tu amekaanga tu, and if we don't start thinking ahead, unaona hata hiyo idea ni mwapatia ya kufungua AI literacy classrooms, mtu anafaa kuwa anaichukua sahihi anaenda wewe ndio start implementing it, tutasaidia wase wengi sana, because governments I don't think if they are able to implement these things. So you start. So teach wase manze, teach wase how to kwa critical, watu form book clubs za kusoma hapo shule sizionangi. Itaneni akina Joram, tengenezeni book clubs apart from me. Book club where mnasema tunasoma hii kitabu this week, so tutaenda tutamit, tutakaa tusome, so that you can strengthen your neural networks. We're able to concentrate for long hours. And then tuko na future jobs require collaboration between humans. Pendaneni vile mko hapa 22 people. You have to start collaborating as early as now to create some sort of a society in the community. Lifelong learning becomes essential. So masomo haishi hapa manze, soma. Kunajua kitambo ilikuwa tu joke. Sasa soma everything manze. Na usome the right things. Choose a path and read. Read everything about that path. By the time unapatiwa platform bana unaongea ni kama hadi Ruto mwenyewe anaanza kujiquestion twice. Youth must understand both opportunities and risks. That's a very good thing. And then call to action. We must prepare youth to shape AI, not just use it. Okay. Si kuitumia tu, tuijaribu kuishape na tutengeneze ikuwe something that is more conducive for us. Empower them with the skills, ethics and confidence needed for the AI era. Hiyo ni kazi yenu. In 2 or 3 or 4 years, you guys will be the ones who are outside like us. Na nyinyi pia mtakuwa mnatusaidia kushape. AI literacy is a shared responsibility for schools, families, policymakers and communities. And thank you so much. Kama umebambika na hiyo session manze, sema tu donjo. Hapo hivyo unaweza type donjo ama unaweza weka hivi. Manze, nimefurahi manze, you guys are such a good audience and I would love to come and talk to you about some other things. Nashukuru sana and welcome Joram.
Yes, Jerome.